First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
And hello, everyone. Welcome back to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Dibbler. Thank you for joining us. We are live here from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. And as we're heading into this weekend for Labor Day, we wanted to show you something that actually you could go out and check out yourself, and that is Peter Pan, the musical at Keller Auditorium. It's going to be running through September 1st. So again, if you're watching live here on this Friday, something to keep in mind over this weekend, especially with the heat. Maybe time to go indoors to some air conditioning and watch a musical like this that comes through town. And this is the reimagined Peter Pan musical. Now, you may have seen some coverage that we had earlier this week. This is some additional coverage, some additional interviews that we were able to do, talking to some of the cast members and to the people in charge of the wardrobe. So that's very fascinating. They even tell us some secrets that are on the wardrobe, the costumes that you may not know, and that you would then be aware of, some trivia you could have if you do head down to see Peter Pan. But let's jump right into it. So this is a series of interviews, kind of back to back to back, so you'll follow along with this right now. Just for the camera, just say name and role.
Sure. Hi, my name is Kamar, and I play Wendy.
Fantastic. All right. Well, Hala, thank you. Congrats on the role of Wendy, in this play. And this is something that I've kind of been asking a lot of people, Peter Pan. It's iconic. It's Peter Pan and Wendy. And what was it like for you when you found out that you got the role of Wendy? Like, what was the reaction that you had?
I was still in my college apartment because I had just graduated maybe like 4 days before, and I got a call from the director, and he was like, "We want you to be Wendy," and I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "Excuse me," and so I was really speechless, and I felt bad because usually people scream or cry or whatever, but I genuinely was like, "What are you talking about?"
Who is it? Prank?
I was like, "No, don't play with me right now," but he was like, "No, I'm serious," and I was like, "Oh my God," and then obviously we just figured things out from there, but it was just I was just speechless because I truly had never would have imagined, right? It was something I could have never thought I could do. So I'm really grateful to be here.
That's a pretty good graduation present. 4 days.
No one could beat that one.
Well, and a quick change of lifestyle too, going from college to all of a sudden out on the road. And doing this, so how's that adjustment? What's that been like?
I've never traveled like this before, and just living out of a suitcase is something you definitely have to adjust to. But it's worth it, right? It's getting to perform every day is something not everyone gets to do, and what everyone works hard to do. And our director used to tell us, a lot of people would kill to be in your shoes right now, and I'm like, you're right. I would kill to be in my shoes right now. So it was a huge adjustment, but I love it. And it's not as difficult as one may think.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, and you're getting to see, so many different places too. That's probably been a pretty good part of it. Is there any place that stood out to you so far?
Portland. I love it here, and I'm not.
You don't have to say that.
No, I'm not. I'm not joking when I say that. I'm about to go out and go shopping after this interview. Nice. But I love it here. I love the vibes. I love the little lake. I'm still walking around and seeing what this place has to offer. Mm-hmm. This is definitely one of my top cities. I also have never been here or to any of the Pacific Northwest, so I'm what is going on? But I really like it. It reminds me a lot of home. So.
Well, you came in a good time of the year too. Yeah. This is where it's not raining and gloomy yet, but you're perfect on that part. But where is home for you?
I'm from New York City, so I'm from the Bronx, New York.
Okay. Yep. And a little bit of that weather here right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We got a couple seasons.
Yep. Well, for everybody out there who comes in to see the show and your performance, what is it that you would like them to take away as their experience?
I just would want them to feel some sort of magic, and specifically the magic you feel when you feel nostalgia. When I watch an old cartoon I haven't seen since I was 4 or whatever, that butterfly feeling you feel in your chest or your tummy. So hopefully that kind of feeling, or just any sort of entertainment, right? Something that makes them leave thinking, wow, that was Peter Pan, and just have that be the cemented version of their Peter Pan. I think just something that makes them feel something in their body and in their mind.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good experience to walk away with.
Yeah.
Well, Hala, thank you very much, for being able to talk to us. Congrats on the role.
Thank you.
And getting to tour around and, live the dream, as you're saying.
Thank you so much. It's been a blessing, and I'm really grateful to be here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congrats.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Cody Garcia, and I play Captain Hook.
There we go. Perfect. Even the way you said it. Well, Cody,
Yes.
Captain Hook. I mean, one of the most iconic villains of all time. One of the best, and in my opinion. For you, what was it like when you got that role to play this?
It was incredibly exciting. I mean, we all know, so many versions of Peter Pan, right?
Yeah.
And my favorite is Hook, like a lot of people's. And yeah, so I was super excited to bring my own little spin to this role.
Well, talking about that spin, I mean, how do you mentioned everybody has their favorite version. There's plenty of people that have played Hook before. What is it that you thought about to bring your own spin to it?
Well, so this musical has been on stage for the last 70 years, and this show has existed for over 100 years.
Right.
So a lot of versions exist. A lot of people have done it, and I just wanted to, and I haven't seen anyone kind of I don't want to give anything away, so I'm trying to like talking.
No
around
spoilers,
it, you know
no
what I mean?
spoilers.
But I haven't really seen anybody do anything incredibly different, and there's nothing in the book or the play that refers to how Hook speaks or how Hook behaves. But there is something in the book about how he looks, and that's where we get the like King Charles II attire. And yeah, they do say that Smee is Irish in the book, and that Smee has an Irish accent, and I've never seen an Irish Smee, so that's fun. But yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Did I answer the
Again,
question?
that answers it without spoiling. Obviously,
Yeah,
obviously we
don't
can't
get
spoil.
around.
We want people to come out and see the show, so
Yeah.
to see your version of it. Well, going out and touring like this, I mean, obviously you've been performing for a long time, but I mean, what is it like going out on the road and doing a musical like this, especially something like Peter Pan?
It's incredibly exhausting,
Yeah.
but it's amazing. I mean, it's indescribable. I'm doing it again for a reason. This is my third national tour, and yeah, I love doing it. I love all the places that we go and the people that we see and the food that we get to eat, the parks that we get to go to. It's amazing.
Well, being here in Portland, have you toured here to Portland before?
This is my first time in Portland.
Okay. Have you had a chance to go out and do anything or try anything out?
I went to Powell's Books yesterday, and people said that it was big, and I'm from Texas, so everything's bigger in Texas. But it was bigger than I thought it was going to be. I was like, oh wow, the purple room, all these rooms.
Yeah.
I was into it, and yeah, there's Coraline cats all over the place right now. Because Coraline takes place in Oregon. I've never been to Oregon.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
you know what I mean? So anyway, it's super cool, very interesting.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is. There's a lot. I would say for Powell's, check out I can't remember the name of it, but it's a room with all the old books. They've got like books from like the
Ooh, that's a dusty
1700s. Or, the dusty. Yeah, exactly. It's a
Yeah.
dusty room.
Yeah, I love.
But that would be a good one. For going back to Peter Pan, for the live audience interaction, and you with your performance of Hook, what's it been like that engagement, with people that I mean, because it's real tangible, at a musical. It's really, the audience is right there. You get to feel how they're feeling. What's that been like for you?
Well, I mean, I love that whole aspect of like theater. That's why I'm like still doing it. And I got to tell you, I did Rocky Horror right before this, and this is hardly that. You know what I mean? Like, people are not shouting nearly as much.
Yeah.
But I do hear kids shout a lot sometimes during the show, and it makes me really happy because like when they boo me, I'm like, please, like boo away, boo your villains, boo and hiss. And people do that, I get very happy. And yeah, a lot of kids are seeing this show for the first time. So I love like if I do get to see anyone's faces and like and see their reactions, like it's great.
Yeah. And you're giving them their maybe first impression of Hook ever.
Yeah, that's what I'm wanting, you know what I mean? So that like when they see every other version, they're like, huh, that's different.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, they get to boo you, which is part of it.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. Congrats on having this role. And, I mean, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Really. And
Wild.
Yeah, wild, but awesome. You're
Yeah.
killing it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Just looking at the camera and saying name and, I guess, official title.
Hi, I'm Lorna Lombardo, and I am the wardrobe supervisor for Peter Pan.
All right, Lorna. I want to go through all of this here right now, but I mean, let's talk about you. As a wardrobe supervisor, that's such a cool title. Number one, like, how did your career lead you to this? Like, did you always know you wanted to be involved in something like this?
Pretty much, yeah. I've worked in the theater even non-professionally ever since I was very young.
Yeah.
So it just kind of was a path. And I just kind of fell into it once I started and just kind of moved up. And it's been a great career so far. So getting a job on this particular production was really a gift because like so many people, Peter Pan's really kind of close to my heart.
Right.
So we all want that little bit of a childlike feel. And it's, even though we do the show every night over and over, you still get kind of a thrill when you hear the music and, you know, you see the kids flying because it's all real.
Well, for Peter Pan, you know, for it being such an iconic thing that we all have our favorites, you know, what are some of the biggest challenges for you from the wardrobe side?
Well, if somebody were to tear something while on stage and you kind of sit on the sidelines just kind of biting your nails until you can get them, till they come off, and you gotta like do a quick repair and send them back out because you don't want to send anybody out with, you know, with holes in their clothes. So, and it happens, you know, more often than not, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Somebody loses a button, somebody splits a seam, somebody gets a hole in their knee, whatever. If it were a lost boy, it wouldn't be a big deal because they're supposed to look tattered.
Yeah.
But you don't want that to happen to, say, Wendy or Captain Hook or, God forbid, Peter Pan. So,
Yeah.
Right. So we do try to take good care to maintain all the costumes in between shows to make sure everything is mended. Anything that looks like it's precarious gets taken care of. So, yeah.
How many versions of each one of these do you have for a performance?
We have probably 4 versions of pretty much each thing. For our indigenous people, they of course have, including understudies, have their own versions of costumes because Serafina and her team have put together beautiful costumes according to where some of these people have roots. So she's done a lot of research into what their people may have been wearing, and of course she took some liberties with colors, of course, to make it beautiful in the show. But there's quite a few versions of all of our indigenous people as well.
Well, looking at these, I mean, looking at Peter Pan's wardrobe right here, there's so much incredible detail in this that, you know, you can see it, I'm sure, from the audience, but I mean, seeing it up close, I mean, this is amazing. So all of this, I'm assuming, you know, hand stitched,
yes.
all something that you have to probably maintain a lot. These seems like that's a lot that could go wrong there.
Sometimes, yeah, we have to add extra little bits that come off because they are worn for hundreds and hundreds of shows. Touch up the paint if we need to, and of course, like I said, any mending. But it is a little bit of work, yeah, for sure. Each of these costumes has a little bit of a secret in it for the darling kids. Just so you know, Wendy and... So when they're wearing their harnesses, they've got this, the harnesses come through here. When they're not wearing their harnesses, this way it looks like when they're running around, you don't see any holes in the side, so that way you know that it's all really magic when they're flying.
I love that. Okay, any other secrets that we could have that we have here?
Well, just Peter. Normally Peter would have an acorn here that comes off and that he gives to Wendy, and it just stays on there with a magnet. He also has vents on the side for his harness rather than zippers. Wendy also has, same thing, little secret here on the side. So when she flies.
Nice.
Yes.
All right. So I mean, all of that, you know, being, and obviously we've got, looks like Hook down here.
Hook down here, beautiful costume, very weighty, as you can tell.
I want this for Halloween. Are you everybody's most popular person around Halloween?
People really, they can't borrow the costumes, but oftentimes they'll come in and say, hey, I've got an idea. Do you think you can help me make this A, B, or C? And I said, oh, I'll be glad to show you how you can do it.
It's not my job to make you a Halloween costume.
We're busy enough, honestly, with anything that we have to do here. But it's a joy, actually, to be able to work on a production like this.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, everybody loves Peter Pan, so to bring it to life on the stage every night and hear the music, and it's very magical.
No,
we
I
really
mean,
enjoy it.
And this is such a tremendously huge part of it, you know, to have this.
It is. And we've got Brandon's here. Brandon's our local hero from Portland. He's a lost boy. So he's got this cute little costume that's you can see has been very worn because, you know, he lives on an island. He doesn't have a lot of needle and thread and things like that to sew with. So he gathers moss to cover up his costume and keep it looking nice as he can.
What do you do to wear that down?
Actually, this is all done by the production team when they are making the costumes.
Okay.
They have, oddly enough, there are people who do the paint, there are people who do the distressing, there are people who do the building. So it's quite a process for us to get these costumes. Everybody has to be in line and available.
Yeah.
So.
Well, obviously amazing, you know, what you're doing. And, you know, thank you very much for having some time to talk to us, too, about this. And I want to take home all of these for Halloween. I'm a big Halloween guy, so, yeah, I'm like, so, you know, if we can just borrow this for...
You don't know where to go,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, it'll be in Portland if it doesn't make it out. No, this is really awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, so again, there we go. Getting to talk to some of the cast members and the wardrobe. I do want some of the costumes. I do like Halloween, so I want the Captain Hook coat, although I would be way too small for the one that he had. You probably noticed the height difference on there. But thank you very much for joining us. This is Fox 12 Now. We appreciate all of you being a part of this show, and we cover a wide range of things here on this show. So don't forget you can go to KPTV.com, click on the Fox 12 Now tab, or the Fox 12 Oregon YouTube channel. Lots of different things on there. And if you have an idea, feel free to send me an email, fox12now@kptv.com, fox12now@kptv.com. Oh, and one other place to watch all of us, download the Fox 12 Oregon app. So just look in whatever your app store of whatever device or platform you are on, you'll find it right there. But thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.